Yeah, hi, my name's Neil Meekins and I'm the owner of Lion Performance Therapy. Why not join me on my upcoming webinar in which I'm going to explain and show you how and why it will be beneficial for you to learn about global movement pattern assessment. Now, as a therapist or a trainer, we'll take, for example, global movement patterns that we see in the gym on a regular basis. Now, this might be a squat pattern, a lunging pattern, a overhead pressing pattern, a bench press pattern, a pull-up pattern. Now, quite often we see our clients can't perform these simple movements, especially not with weights. Or it might be that you have clients that are actually getting through these movements, but they're reaching plateaus or stumbling blocks. What I want to show to you is to be able to break down the component parts of those movement patterns and be able to then give work or homework exercises or treatments to your client to be able to improve them rather than just regressing an exercise to something that they can cope with. As a therapist, like I did, or as a trainer, you will learn skills so that you'll be able to command a very good understanding of how the body or how someone's body is working. Now, again, this is going to differentiate you apart from people very, very quickly. Yeah, so look guys, so for instance, if somebody can't squat very well, if somebody can't deadlift without pain in their back, if somebody's got niggling shoulder pain when they're doing overhead presses or bench presses, or maybe even when they're doing pull-ups, they're getting elbow problems. You know, we see these things constantly. And during the webinar, I'm going to be showing you how to assess, or why you need to assess a client to understand their fundamental dysfunction or movement dysfunction. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, this is for when you get a client and you ask them to do a squat and you see the pattern is, well, it's kind of going all over the place, yeah? So you must have looked at people and seen their knees caving in or their back bends forward too far, and you just don't quite understand what it is that's causing that person the problem. You know the movement's wrong. You think maybe they haven't got enough strength, so you just want to build their strength up. So what you do generally is just regress the actual pattern to something more easier, and then you just start hitting them through training with that. So what you're going to be able to do is actually establish whether or not that person has a movement dysfunction which is linked to their neuromuscular system. So it's a motor control deficit problem. Whether or not the problem is fascial or muscle, so you know, tightness in tissues obviously is going to prevent somebody from moving well, or whether the person has a issue with their joint mobility. So joints can become inflamed, they can start to have a lack of movement, and when they have a lack of movement and control, things start to tighten down around them. Now, of course, there's those three main things, okay? And you're going to understand exactly why your client cannot do things like a squat, a lunge, a deadlift, an overhead press, a bench press. Simple tasks which are actually global, interdependent movement patterns that you will be able to break down to their independent levels and then give your client the correct exercise or treatment for making them better at what you want to get them to do. So this is why I call it performance therapy. We want to work with someone to get their performance better, and you're going to have the tools in your pocket to be able to find out exactly what's happening with your client as far as musculoskeletal analysis is concerned. So why not join me for the upcoming webinar, and you'll be able to at least have a look at what these skills are and what's involved and whether or not it's going to be something useful to you. Okay, I look forward to seeing you then. Take care, bye.